Professor Bernadine Idowu-Onibokun.
Start to the program. Thank you, Professor Stephanie Hatch. And actually, thank you for reminding me of that meeting that I convened with yourselves and the former President and Principal of King's College London. Professor Stephanie Hatch, I don't know if you remember, but when you were all introducing yourself, he introduced himself and he says, as a white middle-class man, I don't know why I should be the president of King's College London, but someone like you, and he pointed to you, Professor Stephanie Hatch, that you should be the president and principal of King's College London. So everybody, watch out for Professor Stephanie Hatch. So, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for coming. I know the weather is somehow, but for you turning up, trust me, your being here will not be in vain. Use this opportunity to network, to meet somebody new. I have heard hundreds and hundreds of stories of people that have attended this conference and landed where they are currently in their roles. Specifically me, many years ago when I started this, I wasn't thinking about myself at all. I just wanted to ensure that we weren't losing talent in academia, especially from the Black minority and ethnic community. But unbeknownst to me, I started growing a network that helped me in my career progression. And by the grace of God today, I'm now a Professor of Biomedical Sciences at the University of West London. So today I'm going to start by sharing how we started and share briefly impact of previous conferences. We can go through the program of today and I will give special thanks. So how did we start? Apologies to those that heard this yesterday. I had a chance meeting with the former President and Principal of King's College London, Sir Ed Byrne. A long story short, he sponsored me to work part-time in the diversity and inclusion team. And I worked on several projects. And one of the projects were to understand why we were losing talent, why postdocs were leaving academia. And for me, that was a big thing because I was one of those. I was one postdoc for many, many years. So then we looked at the data and we realized it's dire, something needs to be done. So it was my job to think of an initiative to hear the voices of postdocs and see what we could do to encourage them to remain in academia. I did a bit of research to see what was out there, and I noticed that there wasn't much out there, specifically no conferences that had been run. So I had an idea as to how I could share my vision with various universities. So I invited 10 representatives from 10 universities within UK, or even London, even though I got told off later on about not reaching out outside London. But anyway, that's changed. 10 representatives from Russell Group and non-Russell groups, and share my vision with them. And as they say, the rest is history. We had our first pilot conference here in 2017. I didn't know what to expect moving forward, but I do recall at the end of that day, we were talking up to 7 p.m. and Dr. Donald Palmer saying, Bernadine, you've started the revolution, you cannot stop now. And that's how we continue this annual conference, which is now an international conference. So for me, this is a full circle moment. That's how we started. So 2017 here, 2018 here again in this great hall, 2019 We went to the University of East London, sponsored by Professor Marcia Wilson. The fourth conference during the pandemic was our first online conference, and that was hosted by Professor Stephen Curry. I didn't do anything there. The fourth was the Professor Stephen Curry from Imperial College London. The fifth year was Open University, and that again was sponsored by Professor Marcia Wilson. And the sixth year came to EWL, and the seventh year was the University of Leeds. So that's the first time we went outside London, and we invited our international speaker from South Africa. And then the eighth year was hosted by University of Greenwich, supported by Professor Louise Owusu-Onteng and Dr. Myrtle. And the ninth year, University of Kent. This was with Rebecca's team, and Tim here we're here today. So, what was my vision? My vision was, well, we understood what the stats were, it wasn't great. And for me is, if you're not making that transition for postdoctoral researcher to become a lecturer, then how are you going to go up the ladder to become a professor? And that was my main concern. When we started out, there were 21 black female professors out of 22,000. I've since been informed through this WEN initiative's 100 Black Females. WEN is organised by Alice Childers. We currently now have over 100 black female professors out of 25,000. I have no idea how many of them have come through my program, I don't know. I'm going to do something someone did yesterday. All the black female professors in the room, can you stand up please? Black female professors. There's still a lot more work to be done, but we're moving, we're going in the right direction, slowly but surely. And the aims of this conference is, as you can see, to empower ECRs to remain in academia, to make that transition. This network needs to keep going because we are sponsoring one another, mentoring one another, supporting one another, sharing stories, and most importantly, telling our peers that you can do it. And my idea also was to have a morning session where we heard from the VC or Deputy Vice Chancellor, so somebody in that position to understand why more places are needed. And for me, I wanted my conferences to be conferences that people were inspired, that were encouraged. Because prior to me starting my conference, I did go to a conference, I won't say where, and I left there thinking, if my students were here, they would just give up. There was no hope. So I wanted my conferences to be hopeful. Tell you what the issues are, but also give hope that things can be done. And in the afternoon, I wanted it to be more interactive. How we can apply for grants. What about mentoring, the importance of mentoring? Most importantly, your networking. As I always tell my students, your network is your net worth. It's not my phrase, but I tell them often, and I'm seeing how my students are doing fantastically well. And also we need to look after ourselves, our well-being, and in the evening network. So that was my vision. That's what we've been doing for the past 10 years, but we are also using today to see about what we're going to do in the future. So some of you can see yourselves here. This was the second conference here, I believe, in this great hall. And we had the amazing, well, I think she's not Sharon now, Chi Onwura, who was then I think she's currently still the Labour MP for Newcastle upon Tyne, and I know she's the chair of Science, Innovation and Technology. So testimonials, loads. I think for me, what I hear every year is, this was my first time attending and it was life-changing. I hear that every year. And you would have thought by now, 10 years, 9 years, 10 years, most people would have heard about the conference. They still don't. So let's do what we can to keep inviting and telling people about the work we are doing. Hearing things like feel motivated and encouraged, seeing people who look like me excelling and breaking barriers is powerful. Kind of therapeutic. Can you imagine just listening to the contribution of the speakers? So our theme today is reflection, recognition, and renewal. So reflection, we're going to reflect by hearing 10 for 10 impact cases. Obviously there's more than 10 impact cases, but we could only do what we could do with the short time we have. And yesterday we recognised individuals through our first BME ECR Legacy Award dinner. And it was Professor Jason Arday that when I invited him to attend, he said to me, Bernadine, do you not realise this is the first award dinner for BME ECRs in academia that has been conducted in the UK? I said, are you serious? Really? I wasn't even aware. But it happened yesterday. Unfortunately, we couldn't invite everyone due to space, but those that did attend saw how powerful it was. And today also we'll be looking at how we can renew the next 10 years through our vision workshop. So please, we want you all to be involved and tell us what we need to know. What are the main factors? Some of course we know, but let's listen more. Factors affecting the current and future landscape of BME Early Career Researchers, and we're going to use this to map out the next 10 years. We've heard what's happening today. We've heard from the powerhouse professors that we had. We're going to hear a keynote from Professor Jason Arday. We're going to hear from the 10 impact cases. There'll be 5 each. We'll have 5 each because we want to hear their stories. We try not to rush things too much. And the first chair will be Professor Jason Arday, and the second chair will be Professor Louise Idowu-Onibokun. And then we'll have that amazing vision workshop, which has been put together nicely by the amazing Dr. Kathy Barrett. So please use this opportunity to network. It's not time to be shy. You've all left your homes, you've left your jobs, you've come here today, meet somebody new. Somebody said to me, oh, I've come all the way from Southampton. Then I remember someone else that came from the University of Southampton, and I just immediately connected them. They didn't know themselves. So keep doing that today. Social media, please put us out there. Hashtag BME Conf 2026. Do follow us on Instagram at the BME ECR Network and or LinkedIn at the BME Early Career Researchers Network. Look out for our launching of our new website. Please, your voice matters. Please tell us what worked today, what didn't work, what we need to improve on. We are collecting all this data to write another paper based on the experiences of yourselves and what we want to do for the future. And we want to use our publications to also inform policies. So please, your feedback really matters. You can find that at the back of the booklet. So make sure everybody gets a copy of this, because everyone's profile that will be speaking today is here. Connect to them. If you connect to them, they've all put their emails or their LinkedIn for you just to connect. You don't need to ask people to connect on LinkedIn. You just go and connect on LinkedIn. Okay? You don't need to ask. Just their details are there. So that means that they want you to connect. Okay? So please do connect. And of course, I can't end without thanking my amazing first-class powerhouse committee. Oh my goodness! How on earth could I do this without them? Dr. Kathy Barrett from King's College London. As I call their names, just give them a round of applause, please. Oh, and to the back. Jane Jane Karomwa, where is she? Project manager. Georgina Western, somewhere, very round of applause. UWL and BME ECR Network. Professor Louise Owusu-Kwame, stand up, that's recognized here. University of Greenwich and BME ECR Network. Khadija Barr, I know she's at the beginning entrance, UWL, Imperial College and BME ECR Network. And the marketing team, Rihanna. Thank you all so much. Of course, we have to thank all our sponsors, our supporters, our partners that have been supporting us over the past 10 years. You can see them all. But specifically for this conference, obviously the network, Perrett Labour, UKRI Medical Research Council, the British Academy, Early Career Researcher Network, and of course, the one and only Welcome. So thank you all once again, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.